Welcome back, friends, to the Defeat Stress and Overwhelm Summit. I'm honored to be here today with Dr. Darren Wiseman. Now, he is a chiropractic holistic physician, developer of the Lifeline technique, best-selling Hay House author and teacher. Based upon his expertise of the subconscious mind and holistic health, Dr. D is an international speaker in the field of consciousness. He has been featured in films such as Emotion, one of my faves, and the documentary Heal. His passion is teaching people how to intentionally change the emotional programs of the subconscious mind. As a natural byproduct, clients directly enhance their bodies and relationships' natural potential to heal and thrive. Now, I know I've said it a few times, but this is one of my absolute favorite chats. And we do go over the time limit of 40 minutes today because I literally couldn't stop. There was just so much goodness. So bear with us with this one. You're going to get so much out of it. But we're going to look at discovering how stress and overwhelm are the portals to becoming the greatest version of yourself. That's right. We're also looking at learning to dance with the subconscious and conscious mind. And we're also looking at how your body speaks your mind. There's actual live demonstrations during this interview of things that we can be doing. And we're also going to look at the most important part, which is actually taking action and evolving instead of revolving. So come on in, my friends. Prepare to be mind blown as I was, as we talk about utilizing stress to become the best version of you. Welcome, Darren, to the Defeat Stress and Overwhelm Summit. Thank you for joining me.
It is a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Now let's dive straight in because I've got a question for you. And that question is, if you were to wake up today and you were feeling stressed and overwhelmed and at that point of complete burnout and exhaustion, what would you do within 30 days to save yourself?
If I woke up stressed and in complete burnout, because I wake up and I experience stress when I wake up. In fact, I purposely look for stress every morning when I open my eyes and I consciously connect to my breath. So I naturally have a practice of diving into stress as a portal into the next greatest version of myself. There's a process that I just naturally do all the time. But now I want to put myself into a scenario where I am doing things to do them. And I'm not driven by my heart. I'm not in my passion. There's no purpose. I'm doing it for a paycheck, or I'm doing it for somebody else's dream. And now I'm in this place where I'm like, ugh, like, get me out of here, burnout. What would I do? I want to make sure I understand the question now. What would I do for the next 30 days? Well, I would create an epic relationship with this part of me who has ultimately, on one level or another, put me in this situation that I hate. I would open myself up to the reality that this was happening for me rather than to me. If I was burnt out, I might not see it that way, but I am who I am, so I do see it that way. So I would look at this as, here's my doorway into the next greatest version of myself. It can't get any worse. And I would begin a journey of discovering a part of me that ultimately has been committed to waking me up, and it's waking me up by burning me out. And for 30 days, I would burn the boat of excuses. I would throw away plan B's, C's, and D's. And I would begin to honestly listen to my heart that was in epic amount of pain. And in its pain, I would discover an aspect of me that had been in a vortex of protection and survival that I know has nothing to do with who I am, but it's looking through my eyes, it's feeling through my heart, it's got the same tone of voice, it just has an edge of fear that's driving it, doubt and indecision. And I would, as I do, but in this situation, total burnout, I would commit myself to courageously facing and embracing my emotions, all of them. And I would discover a desire inside of me, a light, a spark, and I would move in this direction in the way that the universe is designed, as if I'm already there. And I would begin to affirm it. I would begin to look for it. I would look for this spark of desire of I am, for example, here I am burned out. I would look for this spark of desire of I am confident in my imagination, in my world. I would look for it like I lost the keys to my car. And I'd look in places where I wouldn't even think it might even show up. And it would start to show up. It would start to come through. It would start to reveal in itself a path of knowing who I am and being who I am, that had been afraid of being who I am in a way that at that point of burnout I was not capable of perceiving. That at the end of that 30 days of full-on commitment and courage, discovery of confidence and capabilities, where the burnout ended up being an absolute breakthrough of igniting a passionate life, where now as a result of living through and walking the path and going through the gauntlet, I discovered the deepest meaning and purpose and passion of my life, because now I can show so many other people that are absolutely freaking burnt out in their life how they too can walk the path.
Dude, I'm inspired to wake up and feel burnout tomorrow after hearing that. That was amazing. Now let's go back to the start. Firstly, when you said you actually look for reasons to wake up stressed, or you look for the stress when you wake up. What do you mean by that?
Well, I live by a principle that focuses first on what isn't to discover what is. And what I mean by that, Sam, is that rather than seeing anything in any way as a problem, anything as something that is bad, or I'm a failure, or I'm effed up in any way, that life is constantly giving me a feedback that all the so-called problems of life are doorways, portals, and these portals allow us access into a place called our subconscious mind. And our subconscious mind holds buried treasures. They don't look like buried treasures. They look from the outside like shit. And as we know, shit is the ultimate fertilizer to grow things. And so I purposely, when I wake up, I get myself consciously connected to my breath. I do something that's called the connection, that tunes the instrument of my spirit, my mind, my body with Mother Earth and with the infinite intelligence of the universe. I go through this tuning of my instrument, and then I purposely scan my body. I notice how I feel. I notice every day when I'm honest with myself and I pay attention that there's energies in my body that don't feel good, and I'm not even out of the bed. I'm feeling anxious. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm feeling judgment. I'm feeling frustrated. I'm feeling things that are at the surface, oftentimes on a regular basis, on a daily basis. And I look into my life, and I'm like, whether it be my wife or my kids or what I do for a loving and teaching or holding a space with Lifeline, with clients, my family, friends, the world that we're a part of. I look for what triggers me. Who triggers me? Where am I going to go today where I see a potential trigger? What's it going to take? And I'm in my mind observing, what's it going to take to cause me to go to that reactive emotional place? I purposely do that because that's the portal. Once I do that, Sam, I ask myself a question, and the question is, it's called the truth question. And I ask it every day. And the reason I ask the truth question is it enables me to shift judgment that I have towards myself or anyone or anything into a discerning heart. And so I go, hey, Darren, D, if you were given the opportunity to create your life this day, right now, a moment, your future that's coming up, would you choose to create it with feeling these physical symptoms, these stressors, these anxieties, these overwhelms, these fears, these doubts, these whatever it is? Would you choose it? And I say to myself every morning, hell no, I'm not choosing this, but it's going on. And I still haven't stepped out of my bed. I haven't even gone to the bathroom yet, right? And then I'm talking to myself and I'm saying, I know I'm not choosing this. And I got to remind myself, I got to heart myself, I'm not choosing this, but as I'm consciously observing, I'm taking inventory. I'm not getting caught in the story of it. I'm just taking inventory like I'm making a grocery list. I've just now put a framework or a construct to the subconscious part of me. When I'm aware, and I'm really aware when I wake up, I have the power to choose. Only the conscious mind can choose. When I'm aware of something that, hell no, I'd never choose, that's not action, that's reaction. That's the subconscious. And now I've created this portal to this part of me. When we understand the value of having a relationship with the subconscious, it's orchestrating the network of trillions of cells, every organ, gland, and system. It's storing memories of my life, of lifetimes, of generations, of dimensions, of imagination. My subconscious mind has access to everything. Everything comes from the subconscious mind. So I'm very purposeful in creating a relationship with the subconscious mind, because once I have engaged it, acknowledged it, created a rapport with it, I can guide it. I can influence it to emerge, not control it. I'm not in control of my subconscious mind. No one is. But I can create a dynamic, moving, functional relationship with this invisible dance partner to do a real mean tango and live from this heart center and this heart space, to show up in the best way I possibly can. Doesn't mean I don't get triggered throughout the day, but as soon as I've got my intention, today I'm confident, feeling amazing, that's the intention. Then when things go on, and I had a meeting before this, and things in the meeting they were intense. Some tough things we had to talk about with our team, and I got frustrated. But I was able to be in the authenticity of the frustration in a confident way and express myself actively versus reactively. Have an active form of frustration. What an interesting thing. It was so amazing. So that's what I mean by I purposely lean in the morning and look for those pain points in my body, in my life, because they open up the ability to not only understand and appreciate, but access a potential that would otherwise just I'd be a feather in the wind. And instead I'm learning how to play in the dynamic of certain laws that exist in the universe.
I really like this, and I'd be interested to go into more around triggers, right? Some people don't understand what you mean by you being triggered, and what is the opposite. I mean, what is the other, if they didn't know that they were being triggered, people would perhaps go to more like the blame game or like pointing outside of themselves, right? So what does it mean to be triggered?
Oh, let's play the game. I'm going to say something and just observe your first and immediate thoughts. And rather than judge where it takes you, notice that your mind goes somewhere. Okay? So when I bring up the concept of, and everyone who's listening, when I bring up the concept of your mom, notice your first and immediate thoughts. Notice that your mind takes you somewhere. Your mind just goes somewhere with your mom, just the concept of your mom. Sam, just notice that your mind takes you somewhere with your mom. And you don't have to say where your mind takes you, but what emotion are you feeling as you're acknowledging where your mind takes you?
Mine like literally goes straight to my heart and it feels really warm. The emotion is love.
Infinite love and gratitude.
Mm.
So there's an active trigger. That's an active trigger. Now, we could go in another situation and we could be like, connect to someone who, you know, you have a relationship where there's a struggle, where there's a dynamic where the ability to flow is resistance. Notice what or who you think about or where that takes you and the emotion that comes up. Are you aware of where that takes you?
Yeah, the emotion that comes up for me is disappointment.
Disappointment. So that's a reactive trigger. So we constantly have active and reactive triggers that are going on. The active triggers are ones where the conscious and subconscious are aligned in the present moment. The reactive triggers are when the conscious and subconscious are not aligned in the present moment. And when they're not, that means that there's an emotionally charged memory that hasn't been fully processed. And that when it gets triggered, that past memory hijacks the present, and then the past repeats itself. And then we've got patterns of the past that are living in the present as behavior, as ways of thinking and feeling, and even gravitationally what we attract in our life. So we get triggered by colors and sounds and smells and taste and feelings and words. We get triggered by songs and, certain look in the eye, whatever it might be, where our subconscious mind is triggered every 3 to 5 seconds. Every 3 to 5 seconds out of our waking day, things are coming to the surface, sometimes just a little bit, in other times in a gargantuan way, where we go into a place where we really go into protective mode, we shut down. But it's always going on. So oftentimes based upon the reactive trigger, Sam, people just based upon what we know, we know what we know, we don't know what we don't know. So based upon what people know or don't know, we often judge the book by the cover. We often just see the tip of the iceberg and we don't realize that there's something below the surface. And now we're in a place and space where, as a result, I'm a failure. I'm an insecure person. I can't public speak. I'm forever this diagnosis, whatever it might be. We just judge the tip. We're at the surface level. So, but when we can be open, and even more, once you're open, then learn how to create a deeper appreciation, value, and relationship with this invisible energy and intelligence called the subconscious. We access a code within our mind that empowers us to navigate through life. And there's a sequence to navigate. There's a process to navigate through life. It's not a cookie cutter approach. However, there's a sequence to the seasons. There's a sequence to bridging the gap between our conscious, active, aware, choosing mind and our subconscious, reactive, program mind. There's a process that I found must be followed to effectively get our mind to be a tool for transformation and evolution versus a mind that's a tormentor that we're like, oh, how do I just turn this sucker off? That there's a process to turn your mind into an amazing, positive tool for healthy relationships, optimally healthy body, opening up a life we love to live.
I love this. Now, how do we listen more to our subconscious mind and even know that the difference between the conscious and subconscious?
Well, how? It's often most people come to me in um the essence of desiring help, wanting help, usually out of pain on one level or another. It's a rare bird when someone comes on in and then they're in their epic space of who they are and they just want to take it further. That happens over time, but most people come in with the pain being the driving force to awaken us to know who we are. And then, as a result of the process of what I have been teaching, called the Lifeline Technique, my life's work of integrating systems of natural healing, chiropractic, acupuncture, naturopathy, five element theory, the chakras, color therapy, essential oils, tone, tuning forks, neurolinguistic programming, EMDR, NLP, kinesiology based systems. I saw how everything I'd studied came together in a singular system and vision called the Lifeline. It's the Lifeline Technique flowchart. And June 17th, 2002, I saw that in my mind and wrote it out. And since then have been teaching people how to use this as a daily practice for creating their own mind medicine. And as a result, the natural byproduct of running a lifeline for oneself or with another person or with a group of people all at once is it aligns the conscious and subconscious in the present. It creates present time consciousness in an intentional way. And the natural byproduct is our intuition, our psychic mediumship of connection beyond the five senses, but into a clearer, audient, buoyant, sentient realm. That's a natural byproduct of doing the process. We wake up to the matrix and the illusion that we've been buying into as ourselves, the beliefs that have been limiting us, that we believed, and as a result have been living a lie because I'm running off of programs that I didn't download that playlist yet. I've been living it. So as a result of going through the Lifeline, we become aware of the portal versus the problem. We become aware of an inner wisdom in our heart, a feeling that says, yeah, or that's not a full body yes, it's a hell no. And it happens. But the cool part is, wherever one is the place to begin. If one is capable of just being open, to me, what the biggest learning curve is there's only portals, there's no problems. If we can just be open to that concept, because we have to relearn that every day. When someone we love dies, when we're betrayed, when a diagnosis happens, when an accident occurs, when an act of terrorism goes on, when just anything goes on, we have to re-heart ourselves to go, okay, this too is a portal. Because it hurts like hell. So we're not denying our humanity. All of a sudden, it's not like we become numb and like, no, I'm in this spiritual place and I don't hurt. No, we hurt when we're in. This is our body. But the pain and the fear and the stress, it's part of life. when we can be open to go, the pain, fear, and stress is a portal. And I'm going to embrace it as a gift in strange wrapping paper. And as a result, I'm going to say thank you. 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 I'm going to say thank you, even though I want to say something else. And in that of itself, that becomes a very powerful, gratitude becomes a powerful shift of an attractor field. Something begins to emerge through the veil if we can be grateful for stuff that sucks. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think this is so interesting that you say, like, if you were to wake up in this place of burnout, you would look for that portal. And if people listening right now could also look for that portal and look for that growth spurt, like, once we look and we see it, you mentioned that you would lean into all of the emotions and all of the feelings and all of those things. But what is that, like, how do we actually step through the door of that portal? What is it that we need to do on an action base? Because, like, sometimes I've had this revelation with myself recently. Here's an example. That I was really good at getting to, like, the portal, right? I was really good with my mind and my feeling of, like, okay, cool, I got it. I got the thing that I need to learn, and then I'm here at this portal. But then the thing that I failed to do for so long was actually take the action that put me to the other side of this door, like the action that was going to now step me through to the next part of my life. And I would just stop at the door knowing that, okay, cool, that was a learning, whatever. So what do we do to step through to the portal?
Thank you for saying it just like that, because that's one of the things that's really motivated me. Is we live in a world of information right now. This is information. On one level, infinite love and gratitude. I'm tired of information. I want action. I want to know, how do I do it? I want to know that I don't care if the epigenetic potential for me to activate my genes to bring down inflammation and increase immunity and balance hormones and digestion, and for me to be calm confidence. Oh, I know it's possible. Okay, how? We'll just say this. Use this affirmation. There's more to it than that. There's more to it. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's awesome, but there's more to it than that. So there's a couple things. Everything's energy. So the thoughts that we're thinking right now are an energetic frequency. That energy is going to be medicinal or poisonous. That feeling that I have is going to be medicinal or poisonous. The words that I speak are going to be medicinal or poisonous. On every level, it's going to be active or reactive. So first and foremost, I'll share the secret sauce. And the secret sauce is not so secret as the Beatles said, all you need is love. And so it sounds so cliche, but it's true. So I use this hand posture, which means I love you in American Sign Language. I use this hand posture, and I use the words infinite love and gratitude as a means to raise vibration, to raise consciousness. So in the simplicity of an ER 911 moment, where I am in a place of burnout, I am so in the story of my history, of the negativity, of the victimization, of the betrayal, of why me, the simplicity, infinite love and gratitude, infinite love and gratitude, infinite love and gratitude, infinite love and gratitude, infinite love and gratitude. And what happens is, just there, something begins to occur inside. It might not happen in a second, it might, but something awakens. A light is switched on, and the perceived darkness begins to change. The sharp edges soften, and a certain level of power begins to expand from within, simply by doing infinite love and gratitude. So that's the secret sauce. However, there's what I call a manifestation system. of first getting present, and this is what it looks like. It's acupuncture without needles. And join me in it. Join me in it. I'll lead you. And anyone who's watching, join Sam and I in this. Okay? Every time you hear me say infinite love and gratitude, you do it as well. Okay? And we're going to begin by taking 5 fingers, including the thumb, and touching it right at the crown of the head. That's the spirit point. Sam, your spirit's pure love. Place your hand with love over the center of your chest as we raise the vibration of every cell in the body that's naturally designed to heal. We do this by saying infinite love and gratitude.
Infinite love and gratitude.
Keep your hand on your passionate heart. Lift up the crown. Touch it back down. As we now raise the vibration between the body and its wisdom and the spirit, its light. Infinite love and gratitude.
Infinite love and gratitude.
At the same time, take them both away. Touch them both down. We're unifying the spirit and body as one field of pure love. Infinite love and gratitude.
Infinite love and gratitude.
Relax. Take a deep breath. Either hand, put it right over the forehead. This represents the mind. The mind is infinitely powerful. It's the imagination. It's the intuition. Place your other hand with love. Align the mind with every cell of the body that's naturally designed to heal. We're already whole. Infinite love and gratitude.
Infinite love and gratitude.
Lift away the hand from the forehead. Touch it back down. As we raise the vibration between the body, what we feel, and the mind, what we think. Infinite love and gratitude.
Infinite love and gratitude.
Take them both away and touch them both down at the same time. We're unifying the mind and the body as one infinite field. Everything's possible. Infinite love and gratitude.
Infinite love and gratitude.
Relax and take a deep breath. Hands in the I love you posture. Imagine that these are the healthy roots of a powerful tree. And let's take a moment to appreciate the power of Mother Nature. And take one hand, either one, point it down to Mother Earth and go like this. Feel yourself reaching below the surface, deep into the ground of Mother Nature, all the way into the core of Mother Earth, where her heart is beating and she is breathing, where the constant is change, seasonal changes, cyclical changes, the moon and the sun and the stars, all the elements are dancing. The more connected we are to nature, the more we take on Mother Nature's energy. And as we acknowledge where we struggle with change, take your other hand, bring it over the center of the heart, and feel your heart aligning with Mother Nature, like a tree moving through the seasons, letting go in autumn, birthing new in spring. I invite you to repeat, I am a thriving body.
I am a thriving body.
Infinite love and gratitude.
Infinite love and gratitude.
Stay plugged in, bring it up. I am a thriving mind.
I am a thriving mind.
Infinite love and gratitude.
Infinite love and gratitude.
All together at the crown. I am a thriving spirit.
I am a thriving spirit.
Infinite love and gratitude.
Infinite love and gratitude.
Relax and take a deep breath. As you place both palms open, appreciate the left and the right, that they are mirrors of each other. And you and I, my friend, we are mirrors of each other. The yin and the yang, the masculine, the feminine, the negative and the positive. When we bring the palms together, we discover a universal posture for prayer, a posture that's been used for thousands upon thousands of years. People of completely different faiths, different cultures use this to connect to the infinite field and intelligence of the universe. And bring this right on into your sternum. Feel the back of your thumbs. Fit so perfectly. I invite you to repeat, I am a body of oneness.
I am a body of oneness.
The universe is one with my body.
The universe is one with my body.
All is well.
All is well.
Infinite love and gratitude.
Infinite love and gratitude.
I am a mind of oneness.
I I am a mind of oneness.
The universe is one with my mind.
The universe is one with my mind.
All is well.
All is well.
Infinite love and gratitude.
Infinite love and gratitude.
All the way up. I am a spirit of oneness.
I am a spirit of oneness.
I am a child of God.
I am a child of God.
We are all one.
We are all one.
All is well.
All is well.
Infinite love and gratitude.
Infinite love and gratitude.
Relax yourself. Take a deep breath. And welcome to the present moment. Instruments tuned. Observe how it feels to be present. Notice how it feels to be in the room that you're in on this Zoom conference call. Notice how it feels to be in your body. What do you notice, Sam?
I noticed two things and that contradict each other, because I noticed how calm and centered and fully in the moment I am, like forgot about everything that I was feeling, forgot about the fact that I'm feeling not well right now and all of these things. And then on the other side of that, my mind kicks in and goes, you've been trying so hard to be in the present moment for so long, and this is all it took. Like in that simple process, this is what it feels like to be in the present moment. But for like the last few months, I've noticed how out of the present I've been, and trying to be in the present moment, but trying, like, things that just weren't working, when how simple that was, like that can let me feel like that.
Yeah, it's very simple. It's just not easy when we're not in it, or when we just don't know basic things. And it's like the Macarena. It's a very simple process, right? So what's so cool is if we stop right here, we'd be like, okay, have a great one. And that would be enough. However, from this point in the manifestation system, now that I'm plugged in, now that my battery is fully charged, right? Now I can go on the journey. And now this is where there's a 4-step process of setting an intention. Observe consciously portals versus problems. Discern versus judge. Hell no, I don't choose this. Okay, of course not. What do you choose? Follow the 2 golden rules for setting an intention. Where you're going as if you're already there. I am what my heart desires. 4th step, use imagination to bring forth the vibration of the I am into a feeling tone that evokes a medicinal change, a chemical change on a cellular level that lets you know that the I am's already there and the healing's in motion. Now, at that point, and for me today, like I just shortened that by explaining it, but in that moment of I am confident, feeling amazing, now I have a new signature. Now I've got a new signature of consciousness that I can play with this invisible field called the sub, like a submarine, the subconscious. Now I become a bit funny in the sense that now I'm going to poke the bear. Now I'm going to poke the dragon. Now I'm going to purposely go at the subconscious mind. And I'm going to use different ways to trigger the reactive nature of the mind. I'm going to use statements that are specifically aligned with philosophies of neurolinguistic programming that enable my present, past, and future to align with my heart's desire of I am confident, feeling amazing. I'm going to use quantum physics, the observer effect, to participate with the field of energy of my body so that I can raise the frequency of the waves and particles that are showing up as cancer, autoimmune disease, diabetes, pain, psoriasis, whatever it might be. I'm going to use my senses to shift core limiting beliefs that are living in my subconscious mind, programs of environments that are emotionally charged that when triggered cause me to view life through a lens of misperception, to filter life through a field of misperception, to attract not based upon the here and now, but the there and then. So I trigger the subconscious mind through color therapy eyewear, through sensory stimuli, where I go at the reactive mind. to shift these low self-esteem patterns that we all are caught in. And it's simple, but it's like a snowflake. It's still H2O. It's simple, but that snowflake is intricate. The lifeline's intricate. There's a means to the madness of raising the vibration of this consciousness that enables evolutionary change. We live in a world, I love this conversation we're having because, like, all right, now, how do I do it? Because I get to the portal and I stop. And when I get to the portal and I stop, I don't evolve, I revolve. I turn 360 degrees and I end up in the same place again and again. Different face, different name, same situation, same feeling. In every aspect of my life. This enables us to evolve it's not therapy. This is not therapy, it's therapeutic as heck. It's not to heal anyone. Healing goes on. It's about getting to dance with the invisible partner. It's like, I want to understand the wind. It's invisible. How do I understand it? Well, if I'm on the beach, I look at the sand and it tells me about the wind. I look at the water, it tells me about the wind. I look at the trees, I look at the clouds, it tells me about the wind. I want to know about your mind. Well, I'm going to look at your body. I'm going to look at your behavior. I'm going to look at your relationships. I'm going to look at, I'm going to hear your tone of voice. I'm going to see all these things. It tells me everything. Not bad or wrong. We can judge till the cows come home. It's not about that. We all have our own stuff. We're all, we're all in it together, right? But if we want to create an evolutionary change, we have to be honest about where we are. And so much shame lives in the vulnerability of honesty because we've been driven by these reactive patterns for generations where as human beings, we're absolutely stupid to ourselves and each other. And I'll raise my hand first in being stupid. So it's like, just is what it is. We all have this reactive part that's not aligned. So there's a process of manifestation that one can learn to use with themselves. Number one, a lot of people are like, oh, Dr. D, I want to become certified lifeline practitioner because I want to help other people. I'm like, whoa, you just put the cart ahead of the horse. Let's see you do this for yourself first. And then we'll talk about, I'll teach you everything how to help another person. But unless you can go into your own perceived darkness to discover the light, we're not going to go there yet. Yet's the operative word.
Yes. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. So basically, in order to evolve and not revolve, it means stepping through that portal and going into your dark side and dancing the tango.
I left one part out. And I left the part out called kinesiology. And kinesiology takes this to a whole other level of excitement and awesomeness. Kinesiology is a way to read reflexes. I like the concept of what I'm talking about, but if it's not happening, then it's BS. So how do I know if I'm really in relationship with the subconscious? How do I know that I'm being triggered in a reactive way? Well, the body is designed with trillions of reflexes. Every cell has reflexive patterns for survival. Moves towards nutrition, moves away from poison. In a petri dish, put a poison in there, the cell will move away. Put food in there for the cell, it'll move towards. Same thing, I touch a fire, ooh. I'm around someone, like I feel myself leaning into my computer talking to you, right? Because there's an engagement, there's a feeling, right? We are hardwired with reflexes. So kinesiology, which is built upon the work of Dr. George Goodhart, 1964, he developed a system called applied kinesiology where he built upon the work of these other physical therapists and reflexologists where he saw how major muscle groups in the body correspond with acupuncture meridians and certain points of the body that turn muscles on and turn muscles off. And since then, there's been an explosion of kinesiologically based systems. And I've studied a lot of them and I love them. And the Lifeline technique is a kinesiology based system. So it uses what's called an indicator muscle. I could use the dilation of the eyes to evaluate the reflex. It's just a little bit more difficult to read based upon someone's color of their eyes. So what you can use a pendulum. Some people use a pendulum to evaluate. But what's really neat and simple is you can learn how to self-muscle test, or you can learn how to muscle test someone else. Most of my practice is everywhere in the world. Now, as a chiropractor, I never knew that I'd be able to work with people in Bali or New Zealand or in Vienna from Chicagoland area doing energy and have incredible results. And never, ever could have fathomed 25 years ago when I was in school that this is how it would evolve. I couldn't even have made this stuff up. So kinesiology is, I've got my arm in next to my body, not out, but in. I'm imagining I'm holding a bucket. I'm filling it up with like a puppy, so it's not too heavy, but, I don't want to drop the puppy. So I'm holding on right here. I got some tension here, but I got my hand on my wrist, not too far up, not too far down. And I tell that arm, hold strong. And I want to feel that it locks into place, that when I let go, that the arm just shoots up like a spring, like a diving board. Hold strong. Let go, it bounces. That's what we call 0 point. Sam, if we can develop a 0 point, now we can discover what the reflex, when triggered in a reactive way, feels like. So across the board, I found a universal way to read. Everyone reacts in this way because we're wired in this way. I use words to feel when the reflex is on or when the reflex is off. So even just saying, love, 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 just it's an energy, it's a word, that's all. I'm not even thinking about someone I love, but I'm going to think about my dog, Neo. I love my dog, Neo, so much. I'm thinking about Neo. I love, love, love. Hold strong. Locks in, really strong. I'm going to say the word fear. 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 I'm just going to connect to the word. I'm going to feel it. Fear. Hold strong. Hold strong. Now, you're not here right now, so you can't feel it. And so it'd be like, are you really doing this? There's nothing. It just gives way. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. It instantly locks out. It's not as impressive when you're watching somebody else do that. If I had your arm there and you're saying love, you're locking, and you go fear, and you're like, come on, no way. It's such an insane feeling to just say a word and have that be triggered. As I was saying at the beginning, you were saying like, well, what triggers? Like, what are these triggers? We're triggered every 3 to 5 seconds. So the subconscious is always in this engagement of reactivity. But is it an engagement where the conscious and subconscious are aligned or not? And when they're not, that's our portal. And that portal enables us to raise that vibration with heart desire. And as a result, as we raise our own consciousness, we're able to influence the fullest potential of our body to heal. We're able to raise our consciousness so that we can show up as our best self. Not more, but not less than our best self. Here's the coolest thing. When that goes on, we become a light in the world. And as a result of shining and doing our own inner work, taking care of the most important person that we could ever take care of, which is ourselves, on this depth of a level, we contribute to raising the consciousness in humanity. And that's really what the world's asking for these days, is rather than depending upon a political leader or someone who is in a Hollywood or a athletic role model And all these things can be good. There's nothing, hey, great politics and great, acting and athletics, but the real power comes from within us. And when we learn tools to influence this vibration, this consciousness, our health is optimized and our relationship stress becomes something that becomes a growth, they become more confident, we become more calm, we become more authentic in who we are and how we express ourselves. And then there's the ripple. So muscle testing becomes an opportunity for us to know, am I being triggered? And if we are being triggered, now I go back to the secret sauce, infinite love and gratitude. I recheck the muscle, it locks out. Right? And if I go through these 16 steps and I'm looking, like, I don't have any agenda. I don't care if it gives out in any one place. The system will guide. We're learning how to dance with this part. The system will just guide. And when it gives way, we harmonize. We go on to the next step. There's a way to communicate with this. It's really neat.
Yeah, Dr. D, I've loved this chat has literally been so phenomenal. And I think learning how to dance this dance is like such a great way to look at it, and having these tools and these things that we can put into place when we are feeling like, when we're waking up and we're feeling at this place. Like, I personally love looking for the learning, looking for the growth in any opportunity, but waking up, like, takes it to a whole new level. It's like, okay, look for the portal, and before it even arises, look for the portal. I think that I love that. And I love all of these tips, and I literally wish we could go on more, but where can people go to find out more about the work that you're doing? Because it is, from what we've just all experienced in this talk, is life-changing and phenomenal. So where can they go to do that?
You can go to thelifelineCenter.com. So it's and then life, LIFELIFENECENTER, thelifelineCenter.com. And you can learn all about the Lifeline certification program. You can learn where you can experience sessions for yourself, wherever you are in the world, so that you can begin your journey. But it definitely is special, and it creates a whole new appreciation for oneself that oftentimes we forget exist.
Yeah, I totally agree. We're so magical, and we need to just remember that. Now, my last question I have for you is, what would you leave the audience with today? Like a last message of inspiration, or something that you would want to touch them with?
Oh, wow. Um, yeah, have fun. Love life, enjoy. I mean, there's a ton of different things. There really is. Um, I'm just finding more than ever that there's so much pain that's rising to the surface, and the divide is very far in ourselves and with each other. It seems the gap is so profound. And I mean, there's a lot of different things that we can do, but I'd encourage, just where you're finding where you're stuck, you're struggling, you're in patterns of stress. I don't know what to do with this. I feel helpless, angry at myself. I, at my end, grab the lifeline and experience it. I do something that's called the Lifeline Healing Circle every week. It's a group lifeline session. The vision is world peace through inner peace. We are all interconnected by a field of energy that connects all of creation. And so I lead people from all around the world in this process. If you're in a place where, I charge $10 for it. If you're in a place where it's like, that's even too much for you, go to my website, send an email, gratitude@thelifelineCenter.com. Say, I need a lifeline, and we'll set you up for free healing circles. So to support you in moving forward in your own life, because when you start to create a shift on this subconscious level, you'll begin to change how you perceive yourself and the world around you. Wayne Dyer said it best: change the way you view things. Things that you view change. Want a sustainable change? Make a change on a subconscious level. So,
Thank you so much, Dr. D. You're amazing.
right back at you. You're amazing, Sam. Thank you. Infinite love and gratitude.